Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Learn and practice to get more and more better results.
In today's video, I am going to teach you an amazing conversation tip. Before I tell you about this tip, I just wanted to invite you to subscribe to my channel and also let you know that you should ring the bell. This will let you get any updates as well as new videos that I've created. So let's get started. What is my amazing conversation tip? Well, it's really simple, which is always nice. My tip has to do with the expression, tell me about. Tell me about is something that's very easy to remember, and you can use it in everyday conversation. You might hear this expression also during English tests like the IELTS. I recently took the IELTS, and they used tell me about during the speaking part of the IELTS. You might hear tell me about during a job interview, or you might hear this expression just when you're having a conversation with somebody. So tell me about is a way to ask someone about something. You can use this to ask somebody about pretty much anything. Here are some examples. Tell me about your family. This is a nice open question. By saying tell me about your family, it lets the person give you information. They can tell you all sorts of different things. This type of question is way better in conversation than yes/no questions, because people have a lot more to say when you say tell me about. So let's look at some other examples. Tell me about your job. Nice and simple. Tell me about your hometown. Tell me about where you live. That's actually the question I got on the IELTS when I took it. The question was, tell me about where you live. Tell me about your neighborhood. Tell me about your studies. If you meet somebody who is a student, you can ask them, tell me about what you're studying. Tell me about your studies. Maybe you want to find out about a person's interests or hobbies. You can ask them, tell me about your interests. So again, this is a very easy expression to learn. If you're in a situation where you don't know what to say to somebody, why not say something with tell me about? So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about how this expression is used in job interviews. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the expression tell me about. If you have a job interview, you will probably hear this expression at some point during your job interview. So it's really important also to get used to listening for this expression. So let's look at some examples of questions that have tell me about you might hear on a job interview. So the first one is, tell me about a time when you had an unhappy customer. And notice how it's not just tell me about now, it's tell me about a time when. That's very common on behavioral questions during job interviews. If you're interested more in this topic, I actually have a video where I talk about how to answer these types of questions. For this video, I just wanted to show you some of the types of questions you might see with the expression, tell me about. Okay, so let's look at another example of a question you might hear during a job interview. Tell me about a time when you had a conflict at work. Tell me about a time when you wished you handled a situation differently. Tell me about a time when you needed to prioritize. So again, you will likely hear this expression on a job interview. So here is the bottom line. The main thing I want you to know is tell me about is a great expression to use during conversation. You can use it, it's very simple. You can ask many questions with tell me about, and they usually open up conversation. So that gives a really good back and forth during a conversation. You'll often hear these types of questions during English tests like the IELTS, during job interviews, and in other situations as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.